There's 19 major economies around the world, plus the European Union. At the request of the G20 leaders, the OECD has drawn up proposals to prevent companies from moving profits from one country to another in order to minimize their tax bills. Aid Group Oxfam says endorsement of the proposals into global standards will help to prevent billions of dollars from being siphoned out of African countries.
There's some statistics that show that between 2008 and 2010, 72 billion has been lost due to illicit flows from the sub-Saharan region of the African continent.
The G20 has committed to raise its combined GDP by 2% over the next 5 years. That's expected to add about $2 trillion to the global economy and generate millions of jobs.
I don't think we must think that there's going to be a magic wand that's going to come out and solve our problems. Each country needs to take from it that which they can bring home, customize and put into practice. So I don't think we must expect any miraculous outcomes, but very solid debates which will show us which direction we should move in or which direction we need to alter in our own policies to make it easier to deal with our challenges.
The Brisbane Action Plan is expected to be tabled at the end of the summit, something many observers say is key in making the G20 relevant and accountable.
What really matters to people on the ground in G20 countries like South Africa is that there's some action that follows. So I would like to see the G20 members looking at what are some very specific things that could be actioned and how are they going to hold themselves accountable to actually following through on those actions. So for example, in the area of infrastructure financing, which is a big G20 topic, why don't we look at a couple of very specific projects and use them as pilots almost.
South Africa remains the only permanent member of the G20 from Africa. Such skewed representation of the continent in global discussions will no doubt refresh calls for more reforms of international multilateral institutions. Luda Motlogelwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.